Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Wednesday. It's Daryl here. It's bright and early, 4 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Okay, I'm working on another video. There's so much going on right now with Black Lives Matter, just the whole situation with police and their interactions with the public. I'm just going to put it that way because I could relate to a lot of these stories. Like I've told you guys, I used to walk back and forth to work. Not to get too much into it, but I'm working on that video for later today. I got a great story. I'm going to put it on my community page. There's been a estimated 500-pound black bear, a huge overweight black bear spotted right around here, within a couple miles of where I'm sitting right here in Northwest Connecticut. It's a story in Field and Stream, February 17th, Field and Stream. I'll put the link down below, and I'll try to find a picture to put on my community page. This bear is it's bizarre. It is a huge, the only way it can be described is overweight. I don't know what this bear has been eating. It looks like this bear ate a moose. I'll show you the picture, but the first thing I thought of was when I was confronted by at least one coyote yesterday. And God knows what else is. I don't know if this tank of a black bear is roaming around. Apparently it is roaming around right around here too. Anyway, it's more I want to talk about. Okay, so like I said, there's a lot going on with police and their interactions with... there's so much to think about. I think about the Capitol Police being questioned by lawmakers. Josh Hawley, actually asking Capitol Police if they do you believe you were complicit in the January 6th? What happened on January 6th? And I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what kind of point this man was trying to make. You remember Josh Hawley doing the fist pump as he walked by those people who would shortly overrun the Capitol? Fist pumping them? Yeah, you go, guys. And he's asking the Capitol Police that were injured after he fist pumped these people, asking the police if they're complicit. The hypocrisy, the gall is unbelievable. I don't even know what to say about that. So on one hand, I without a doubt, I'm defending the Capitol Police here. On the other hand, there's other issues across the country of police acting questionably. I'm not saying that all police are bad, but there's obviously problems. Today's the 1-year anniversary of Ahmoud Arbery. Now that story, the black jogger, this story, these three gentlemen, that's using the term lightly, in Georgia were just basically let go. Their claims of self-defense, and that this had more to do with the prosecutor than the actual. It was higher up, in my opinion, than the police in the Ahmoud Arbery case. But anyway, it's a 1-year anniversary there. Just yesterday, a grand jury declined to file charges against the police in the Daniel Pruitt case. That's the case where the disorientated, or I don't know if he was probably under the influence, Daniel Pruitt, an African-American man sitting on the pavement. I believe it was in Buffalo, New York, or Rochester, New York. There's so many of these cases. I have a hard time keeping them all straight. And I can relate to this guy because, I used to use, and I've been disorientated before. And this guy is sitting bare naked on the pavement in March in the snow, hands cuffed behind his back. The hood is put over him, then he's flipped and put face down on the pavement, and he subsequently passed away. And there's no charges in that. Police acted okay. That was okay to do. Yesterday I talked about Elijah McClain and 500 milligrams of ketamine being injected into this guy before the police and fire even adequately interviewed him, which is probably about twice of the amount that he needed. In the case of Rodney Reese walking home from Walmart, there's so much, not new cases, but old cases, in my opinion, being swept under the rug. And that's what I want to talk about in my next video. I'm working on all these cases. There's so many of them, with investigations coming out and grand jury decisions and 1-year anniversaries and all this stuff. There's so much to talk about on this. And then just other situations with hypocrisy this morning. This is what I kind of want to talk about too. On Fox News, you got Sean Hannity and the other one there, Sean Hannity and Tucker Carlson, and they're talking about Biden putting kids in cages. Now they're calling these trailers, these air-conditioned trailers. I guess they have bars on the windows. These, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm relatively certain that this is to keep the people inside protected and their belongings protected from people outside. I don't think it's, I know that it's not meant to keep them inside. In other words, so on Fox News, this is what's going on Fox News. They're putting, they're daily talking about these these scary stories of Biden opening the floodgates and all these thousands and thousands of caravans coming up into America, taking all of your Social Security and all of your COVID relief money and everything. All right, that's the daily story. But they're talking about how Biden is putting kids in cages. So which is it? Is he opening up the borders and letting everybody in, or is he separating families and locking everybody up and putting kids in cages? Because daily they're putting out both of these stories. Obviously, one of them isn't true. Every single day. Oh my God, Biden is continuing this effort started by Obama, putting kids in cages. The sad thing is, I think that the people that support Donald Trump actually believe all this, or they try to believe it. I'm not going to go over this. I've gone over this about 5 times already, about Obama setting up these buildings for a short period of time, 24 to 72 hours, to keep families. It wasn't to lock up. We all know that the zero tolerance policy was instituted when Trump came into office with his attorney general, and that was the beginning of literally using like old Walmarts to lock kids inside of, with no washcloths, no combs, no toiletries, no nothing, and they're still in there. And so now we have Fox News showing these you should see the way they describe these. They describe them as shipping containers with bars on the windows. And the way they're spinning this, they don't mention the AC or anything like that. These campers are made to hold children. I think it's like 13 to 17 that have come across unaccompanied by their guardians. It's someplace to safely hold the children. So they're not putting them in hotels with God knows who, back in the Trump era. They're not locking them up inside old Walmarts and literally behind fencing so that they can't get out. They have no access to toiletries, to phones, to nothing. No, they're putting them inside actual small living arrangements. And these kids came across unaccompanied. Now, see, Fox News doesn't mention any of this. They just say about Biden's putting kids in cages, and they blame Trump for that. And look what he's doing. He's putting kids in these shipping containers with bars on the windows. Oh my God. It's not true, man. This is just, and then the hypocrisy too. You got back-to-back stories. The first story, that Biden is letting everybody and their brother through. Waving, come on in. Thousands of people, come on in. But the next story is he's locking everybody up. Worse than Trump did. So which is it? Is he locking them up? Or is he letting them all in and giving them your Social Security and putting them up in palatial hotels? Oh, that was another story too. That they don't have to pay for these hotel rooms. They have all these grand hotels and resorts. While Americans have to pay for their hotels and resorts and vacation accommodations, these Mexicans can come up and just live in these hotels and rent free and all this other stuff. Well, which is it? Is he locking them up? Is he locking everybody up in these shipping containers? Which is it? It's more hypocrisy. Oh, and the last thing I want to talk about is Ted Cruz and using the old victimization. Just yesterday, he talked about how the evil media and big tech, And he actually used those words, evil something media and big tech and evil Democrats. They don't have Trump to kick around anymore, so he's crying that he's the subject of all these lies and hate just because he was a good family man and took his kids down to Mexico, and he's making himself the victim here. The evil media is beating up on him. Oh, and then another part of the story is AOC. That it's coming up on $5 million now that she's raised for the Texans, and they're spinning it that she's benefiting somehow from all this. That she's capitalizing on the pain of Texans by helping them out, by doing the right thing, by doing what she's supposed to do, being a public servant, actually working for the people. $5 million in a couple days. By doing the right thing and helping people out with food and water and donations. That she's using that just to make herself look good. She's capitalizing. and Ted Cruz is the poor guy who went to Mexico, and he's getting picked on for being a good family man. Oh God, I don't know. I don't know if the whole MAGA crowd, do you guys really believe this? Or in the back end, do you really understand the truth of what you're seeing? Or do you honestly believe the story? Do you actually feel bad for Ted Cruz? And are you seriously thinking that AOC is doing this just to benefit herself? You probably do. Anyway, the de-Trumpification continues. Just thought I'd throw that in there for a little jab. All right, I'll be back later with another video. You guys have a good Wednesday.